Hey, what is up guys? It is Harrison Barron. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into my channel. So in this video, I want to teach you guys how to use the LinkedIn algorithm to your advantage. And I'm probably going to teach you some things that you may not know and some things that you may know, but ultimately, by the end of this video, you are going to be a master at getting your content visible by tons of people. So right off the bat, everybody wants to do better at LinkedIn. So how do you do that? Well, first you have to understand the algorithm. So what is the algorithm? Now, obviously, I don't know the exact algorithm, but I've gotten pretty good and I've done quite a bit of research on what LinkedIn has told us about the algorithm. So, once you have all-star status, you're going to be 27 times more visible on LinkedIn, right? They want you to take some time to build your profile, and then ultimately they're going to reward you with more visibility. Makes sense. You're also giving them a ton of free information that you don't even realize to help them update their database. The reason why that's important is because you need to have all-star status before you really start getting the visibility that you really want on LinkedIn. From there, you want to say, hey, what is the reason of learning by LinkedIn? Is it to get your content seen by more people? Is it to get your profile seen by more people? Or is it to reach your ideal customer? Whatever it might be, that's for you to figure out. But I want to tell you guys how to master it. So, when you're building your algorithm, when you're building your content, you have to do a couple things. One, it needs to be catchy. People love 1 to 3 minute videos. If it's anything longer than that, it has to be really good. Or you just have to be known for having longer format content. That way people can digest it over time. It's not a bad thing otherwise, but you need to have that content made on a regular basis for people so they totally understand exactly what to expect. For example, my YouTube videos are typically about 5 to 10 minutes long, usually around the 7 to 9 minute mark most of the time, because that's what people expect from me. Exact same thing with your content. It has to be consistent, whatever it might be. Number 2, the quality of the content is tremendously important. Now, nobody needs an extremely high-end camera to make content. Your iPhone or Android is going to be suitable for making content on LinkedIn. What you have to do is be mindful of your sound quality and your lighting. If your sound quality is terrible, nobody's ever going to watch it. And if your lighting is terrible, it doesn't matter if it's a photo or a video, it's never going to get seen by anybody because not enough people are going to engage with it. Now, the key to that is engagement. When you have high engagement on your content, LinkedIn is going to start to help you and get you through the algorithm faster. This is what everybody really wants. Over time, when you put in content, people are going to see it for weeks and weeks, if not months, after you've already made it, right? I don't like to look at things that happened in the last week. I like to look at them after a month or two to see how they're performing because not everybody signs in on LinkedIn every day. There is a ton of people, but not everybody that I really want to get in front of. What's really important is when you get good engagement on LinkedIn, they're going to start to push you further and further out. So, if you have somebody that likes your video, for example, that person's network might have maybe a quarter of them are going to start to see that XYZ person liked your video. That's a great thing to have. If you don't have that, or if you have zero engagement, LinkedIn actually gives you a negative strike on your profile. When you have a negative strike, your stuff is going to be seen less and less, and over time, you're going to be at the bottom tier. You want to get to the top tier so you're constantly getting the most visibility. But with top tier responsibility comes top tier quality, and you have to keep producing high quality stuff. Now, when you have somebody like your stuff, you ultimately really want them to comment. So you definitely want to tell people, like I do in LinkedIn and YouTube, to say, hey, comment below what you found valuable in this video. And I also say, subscribe in my YouTube videos because I want people to know that they can turn that on so they see my stuff more regularly. Now, LinkedIn doesn't have that ability, so that's totally fine. But tell people, hey, by the way, share this out and comment below if you found this valuable. You're now forcing people to engage. LinkedIn says, oh, this video gets a ton of engagement. If we put it on a point system, a like might be 1 point, a comment might be 3 points, and a share might be 5 points, right? If you have somebody that shares it, comments on it, and likes it, you're talking about 9 points per person. The more engagement you get, the further it's going to go. If you get a bunch of likes, but you don't get a lot of comments or a lot of shares, that means it's going to still stay in the smaller tier. But if you get a lot of comments and people are commenting and it's possibly a debate topic or something like that, that's really good content to get seen by a lot of people. Also, really heartfelt messages, and there's typically less engagement on informational stuff, but informational stuff could be used towards your target client. So I said target client in the beginning of the video. Well, what kind of content do you want to make for you to get the most visibility? Do you want to run it through the algorithm of trying to get likes, comments, and shares with high quality so people engage with it and it goes further? Right? If somebody shares your content, if you have 500 connections and they have 500 connections, LinkedIn doesn't show it to all 1,000 connections, but they might show it to 250 contacts of yours and maybe 250 contacts of theirs. And now you get 500 views, 250 of which came from not your immediate circle. If you could replicate that time and time again, you're going to immediately start to get further, your content's going to be pushed out more, and you're going to get the visibility that you really want on LinkedIn. That's how this whole algorithm works, right? So when you're trying to get in front of your ideal customer, you have to think about, hey, what can I do? How do I tweak this? How do I get in front of that person? Maybe what I really love is commenting those people in the section where you're typing in the information about the video, adding those people's names and saying, hey, you know what? What are your thoughts on this? I love asking questions and getting feedback because not only does that content do better, but now people are commenting on it, they're giving their own information, they might be sharing it out to get their other peers' attention on it, and ultimately that's going to help springboard you further down the road. So the algorithm kind of changes, and the more successful you are producing quality content, the more successful you are to be climbing that LinkedIn ladder. On the flip side, if you produce really crappy stuff, nobody's ever going to see it because LinkedIn knows, hey, this is crappy. And if it's constantly crappy stuff, they're going to put you in that lower threshold as far as what they want from their community, right? They want you to produce good stuff so you stay on the platform longer, and ultimately they reward you with more views and visibility, right? Which ultimately puts more dollars, better connections, and everything like that in your pocket. Who wouldn't want that? So take the time out, produce high quality stuff. You don't have to go get an expensive camera. Go get an extra light, maybe a lav mic for your iPhone or your Android, and you're already halfway there. Set it up with a small little tripod, and for 20, 30 bucks, you can have a pretty decent setup as far as getting content seen. I hope this video helps. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video helps kind of explain the algorithm. It's not the most scientific, but I don't want to bore you guys with that. Nobody wants to know the scientific stuff behind it. Just take the time out to produce the best quality content you can, like I do, and you're going to get rewarded over time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, turn on that bell so you never miss a notification and the ability for you to make better connections and sales. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.